took a lot for me to believe in OU football again, and yet Josie and BV and that squad did it.
This is a shiesty.
The glaze is just ridiculous over here.
Jack in the box, line that shit up.
Zone 6, Section 8. I'm just going to eat regardless. He's shaking his head. You don't know what's going on.
He's losing his mind.
All right, welcome back to the Boomer Backfield podcast. We are now officially in the real thick of the off season. No more spring ball.
Yeah.
Basketball portal just closed. It's baseball, softball, and then summer. So we're really here. We're really in the thick of the off season. So today we are going to kind of give you a little bit of rundown on what went down this spring, and basically just grade everything that has happened since we lost to Navy, actually, unfortunately. So, yeah, we're just going to give a grade on the defense, what they've done since the loss to Navy, the offense, and then the team as a whole. That grade basically encompasses all types of things, portal, freshman additions, injuries, what we've seen come out of the practice videos, the combine, all of that jazz. So, stick around. We're going to have some hot takes coming up.
Yep.
My name is Spencer.
My name is Kylan.
And I'm Colby.
And let's go ahead and get right into the defense.
Yeah.
Start it out.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like it.
The defense, was a bit on the back burner for probably the first time in 3 years.
Yeah.
This offseason.
Yeah.
Everybody was focused on the offense this year.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
And I think, obviously the big thing with defense is losing Billy Bowman, losing Ethan Downs, losing Danny Stutzman. Retaining our Mason Thomas was a big one. But just a tough offseason when you lose all of that.
Yeah.
Not much attention was given to it, though. I feel like, especially at the combine, man. What can you tell about defense at the Crimson Combine, at the circus? So it's really honestly hard to say, like, oh, I saw this out of this player this offseason because we literally saw just about nothing.
Yeah. I think the thing is the defense didn't get that much attention because it didn't really need it.
Fair enough.
The depth that we have is insane.
Yeah.
We picked up Marvin Jones Jr.
Kendall Daniels.
Kendall Daniels, a linebacker. We picked up power 4 guys.
Yeah, and those are really like the two, I feel like, big ones.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else big that we got on defense other than them?
Just signed that Utah State transfer D lineman.
Yeah, I saw him.
Kind of,
in a deep D tackle room, I'm not.
But it's
it's just kind of like
it's just like we're so. I feel like we're just so deep.
I gotta say, I
need to focus on it.
I would have rather seen a transfer D back
corner. Yep,
a corner for sure. That is where my grade is dropping on the defense. I'm concerned about the DBs. Obviously, you lose Billy, but the corner room was an issue. Like that, it just flat out was an issue last year, and we haven't.
Yeah, what did we do to bolster it?
Right. Obviously, you got Eli Bowen getting older. Gentry Williams is just an injury-prone guy. I freaking have the most hope in the world for Gentry Williams.
Yeah.
I always have, but when is that going to come around? Right.
If he plays a full season, he'll go probably first round. He has first round.
Yes.
He's so good. Ridiculous.
Yes. He's so good at football.
But I say he'll go first round, but the scouts are going to look at him and say, buddy, you've played one full season in your entire career.
And
but corner, I am right there with you. I think I was talking to my dad about this. He was like, I said, Eli Bowen's a dog, but Eli Bowen is also 5'8".
Yeah. And all the other guys we just listed.
Yeah.
Gentry's 6 foot.
And that's
the tallest one we just listed.
Cleats.
RSJ is 6 foot. Peyton Bowen's 6 foot.
Safeties, I'm not as worried about because you're not playing as much.
You're one-on-one.
But if you're going against Jeremiah Smith and you're 5 foot, you're getting cooked.
There's literally nobody in that DB room that's like potential for starting taller than 6 foot, which I know 6 foot.
Jacoby Johnson, he's like 6'2". I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'll give Jacoby Johnson that. Yeah, but I don't know. It's tough when you're in the SEC playing. Some of the best wide receivers.
Even the thing is, the problem with Eli Bowman is that he's elite, but it doesn't matter. Like the Mizzou game's a perfect example when Theo Weiss mossed him.
Theo Weiss is
Eli played
6'3", yeah.
perfect defense.
Yeah.
He played perfect defense on that play and got mossed because he's too short.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen if you play Jeremiah Smith. Eli can be perfect on all of his fundamentals, all his mechanics, but it doesn't matter.
He's just
if it's
bigger.
a good ball, it's a good ball. He's just taller than you. There's nothing he can do about it. Literally nothing he can do about it. So,
but that being said, that's the only room I'm concerned about is the DB room. I mean, everywhere else I'm really excited about. And if we can get Gentry healthy and we have Gentry, Eli Bowen, RSJ, Peyton Bowen, and then maybe Dolby playing the nickel, like that'll do. Yeah. That'll play. That will absolutely play. But it's just thin. And I mean, we know the injuries. I mean, Eli Bowen is currently in a boot or recently in a boot. Yeah. So we know injuries can happen. So I worry about that room. I worry about that room
especially with this Met staff. Yeah. I will say this about the D-line. I think we have arguably the best D-line group in the country. We are deep everywhere.
Could be. Definitely
could be.
Absolutely could be.
We are unbelievably deep at D-line. All of our third strings could all go start at very big time schools.
Yeah.
We are very, very elite on the D-line.
Yeah.
So if they play to their potential and they stay healthy, man.
I mean that's,
the list goes, it literally goes on and on and on. G-Baby, Dominic Williams, Jaden Jackson, David Stone coming up. Marvin Jones Jr., right? He's a D-lineman.
Yeah.
You have all, and it just keeps going and going and going. So, PJ Adebawe. So, you have all these names, and it's just insane.
I'm hoping for, obviously, R. Mason coming off one edge. That's no doubt. He's a starter.
He's a starter. So.
Dominic, probably Jaden. I'm betting on Jaden Jackson to beat out G-Baby for that starting spot. However, when we're talking D-line and we're talking starters,
it don't matter.
I mean, it really don't matter. R. Mason obviously will get 80% of the snaps, but when you're talking those D tackles, those guys are constantly on and off the field. So.
Yeah, they're huge.
But on that other side, man, I'm really hoping to see.
You're gonna see PJ?
I want to see PJ, man.
Yeah.
I want to see him because the frame the guy has, and he keeps every offseason he swells up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I just know, man. Miguel Chavis loves PJ, cherishes him. And I hope that turns into something. Finally, turns into something.
And I feel like that's the good thing, and that's what I love to see is the fact that it doesn't even matter who's out there. Like linebackers,
linebackers. Let's go to them.
Danny, yes, because you're gonna miss the play, the skill, the talent, obviously. But more importantly, what you're missing, you're losing the leadership is what is huge for Danny. There is plenty of linebackers that we have that are probably more I'd say talented, better size, better instincts, whatever. But Dane just knows. He knows instinctually. He knows what he's doing. But man, oh man, has it been too long since I've seen Kip Lewis crash out.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Kobe McKenzie and Kip Lewis just to Sammy Almosigo.
Bro, that group right there that you just listed, Kip, Kendall Dolby, Kobe McKenzie, and Sammy Almosigo. That group excites me so freaking much. That is a room that they got hit hard with the loss of Danny, and I think could bounce back even be better than way
and
before.
Whatever Kendall Daniels is going to play. He could play the cheetah. He might line up at outside linebacker. He might play safety and come downhill and kill you. I don't.
No idea.
And Samuel Mc goes on TikTok in the locker room.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't even care.
Yeah.
Because I know he's a dog.
Because he's a dog. Man, that room is something, and it's a very athletic room.
That's
an
athletic room. But they can
fast. Fly. They're probably 4-5, 4-6 groups.
Easy.
And they're linebackers.
Dude, that room.
They're meeting at the line of scrimmage.
Literally.
It's just crazy. It's going to be elite. Our defense is going to be elite this year.
And really. I love the coaches coaching the linebacker room. Obviously, Brent Venables, Wes Goodwin.
Yeah, Nate Drilling.
Really good coaching there.
Yeah. Again,
Brent Venables treats that linebacker group. He's focused on that more than anything else.
Yeah.
I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
So, obviously Danny losing that leadership, I think Brent Venables is going to put that onto McKenzie.
Yeah.
And I hope he steps up. I think he can. I think he can be that guy. I think he can. So that's definitely a room where I'm like, for sure. So
it's gonna be nasty. What do we give the defense overall grade?
I gotta say, well, the thing is, the linebacker room was great last year. So it's like, I can't say they've done like, I would say they've done average. Like they've done good. They've maintained, which is maintaining in this day and age is an A in itself. Yeah. D-line has made, I would say, some improvements, but again, it was great last year. I would say they maintained, which again is a really good thing. Problem for me is the DB room. Obviously, we talked about it. I would give that room like on its own, like a C area type grade. So as a whole, I'm just a bit concerned about the DB room, the corners specifically. I'm going to have to give defense probably a B-, because I mean, like, you can have the greatest box in the world, but if you don't have the secondary,
cooked.
It all falls apart. So I think hopefully they're going to go out and fix that this offseason in the summer.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm going to give them a solid 85, just a B, no just minus, no plus.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, just like you said, my concern is really the DBs, because that's what happened last year.
Yeah,
we were fine. Front seven.
Yeah, elite. It's always been good.
Elite.
Past 3 years. Yeah.
No one was. You weren't running all over us. You weren't doing any of that. But hey, get in that shotgun and throw the ball, and you're good to go. You're good to go. It's every time. Every time you get Des Malone and all these other guys, they're getting beat. Kanai Walker getting burnt. Yeah. That's why I wish go get a long veteran corner, junior, senior, grad, don't care. That's proven can go play. The guy out of Houston, I think he's a DB. He's like 6'2", like 200.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because you can go lock up whoever.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I give him a C probably. Obviously, front seven, I give him an A. Put it together. 85, give him a B.
85. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to give him an 89.
B plus.
A B plus. The reason is I think Gentry's going to be healthy this year. I think this is his year. This would be Eli Bowen's second year. He's had a full season as a starter underneath him, so he's got experience in the SEC, in the big-time games. I think he's ready. Jay's going to step up as kind of like the leader-ish of
for sure
the secondary. And then you have Peyton Bowen going into his third year. So I think this is going to be a comeback year for the secondary. We've had a bad secondary for as long as I can remember being a fan of OU football.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a really good year.
Yeah.
I think Gentry's going to find his groove this year and finally stay healthy.
Yeah.
And become an NFL draft prospect.
It's good to stay hopeful. I want to see, just like Kylan said, one transfer would completely flip the tide for me.
Yeah.
I just need one corner transfer, and that would just sell me like, oh yeah, that
because they don't have anybody to. Every other position has an older guy to look up to. I mean, you could go to Gentry. His technique is whatever, but there's nothing there for you. Like there's.
Yeah.
I've played. He's probably played, I don't even know, 15 games. That's what it feels like. But that veteran that would bring in, hey, this is what you're doing. Like, this is how to take advantage of, you might be smaller. This is how you do, like, just something like that.
I just want a tall guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I want one guy, like when we play Theo Weiss next year, I want somebody to put on Theo Weiss.
Is Theo Weiss? No way. Is he back?
Is he not?
Dude, Theo Weiss is older than us.
I thought he hit the portal.
Oh, I don't know.
We
where
could be all three be wrong.
Probably all,
indeed.
I mean, we all said different things, so we're all probably
better hit
wrong.
a ball.
Anyways,
actually, no, he probably going to leave.
The thing in the SEC, you're gonna play somebody that's 6'6".
Yeah.
Like you will line up against a 6'6" receiver at least once or twice in the season. I just want one guy that's like 6'3" that I can put on him, and we don't have that. So I love that kind of transfer. I'd hope that comes, and that would change my grade to probably an A.
Yeah, 100%.
But
so overall, we got B minus, B plus, B. So overall. B.
A B.
Overall
That's
B.
A B.
85 flat B. All right, let's talk about the offense.
Yeah, going into the offense, this is obviously the one that it got all the attention this past year, and
much needed.
Before I even get into what we've seen from it, the big thing about the offense is, what did we lose? Was there anything to lose? Right? We didn't lose anything because there wasn't anything to lose. What did we gain? Oh my goodness, we gained everything, it feels like. We did, I mean, to be fair, we lost extremely heavily in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
But did we lose them if they didn't play last year?
Yeah.
But yeah, we gained quite a bit on offense, and that's where you have to preface basically everything if you're grading the offense in the offseason.
Yeah.
Do I really know? Am I going to come on here and say that I've seen everything I need to see
Insider.
about John Mateer?
He's the insider.
I know. I've looked inside his mind.
Do you want to know what I see?
I have Unagi. I have Unagi. I have seen inside John Mateer's mind. I know he's going to be great. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to tell you that he could. I don't know what he'll be, but getting the number one quarterback, getting the number one running back, that's an A+ move.
Yeah,
that's an A+ move
for sure.
A++.
My concerns: tight end room. I didn't address that. We got a guy from Kennesaw State. All respect, Carson Kent, but
he went to
that's not what I wanted to see. Right? Wide receiver room. Obviously, got super fleeced in the portal.
Bad.
And replaced it with, again, guys from
UAPB.
Yeah.
Where's the other one?
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Southern Illinois.
I do like Satania. He's power 4. He's SEC.
Yeah. What's interesting, though, is our D2 guy, Giovanni Gibson, looks like kind of the front runner.
Hey, UAP.
Behind Dion.
They're D1.
They're D1. Yeah.
They're D1.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
D1.
They're D1. They're D1. But
they don't play.
We'll talk about him here in a little bit.
Yeah. So, and then the last room, the O-line room.
Yeah.
We did some good transferring. I did. I mean, Bill Bedenbaugh is the one coach in this entire out of all of this that I can be like, all right.
Yeah.
He went and got a guy from Western Carolina. I believe in that guy now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's Bill Bedenbaugh can turn anybody into anyone. So,
yeah.
I'm not worried. And they got 3 transfers in? 4?
2 Stanford.
2 Stanford, Western Carolina.
Maybe 3, maybe 4, might be missing
It's
one.
3 or 4 transfers in on the O-line. So we could have literally a brand new O-line next year.
That's what we need.
Good freshmen turning into sophomores as well. So I'm happy with the O-line.
Yeah.
Worried about the receivers injury-wise. Worried about the tight end room. Super happy with quarterbacks and running backs. That's my overlook.
Yeah.
What? I know. Look, y'all are looking at me like I'm finna say something crazy.
Something about Michael Hawkins.
Y'all, I was just looking at you.
My fault. Thank you for looking at me. Spencer was looking at me. No, I mean, I agree. I'm not going to sit here and Michael Hawkins, whatever. I get it. Y'all expect whatever. But, hey, whoever's going to go out there and win games, put him out there. If it's not Mike, I'm not going to lose sleep. Shout out to Mike anyway. But John Mateer, go do your thing. But tight ends, that's where I'm stuck. Like, what are we doing? I don't, unless... Yeah. No, because it's Joe John. Nothing personal against you, Joe John, but I have just yet to see you put out a good product at tight end.
Literally.
And are we going to do something with Mr. Carson Kent? Is he going to be the dog? I mean, I've seen him catch a couple TD passes, and so maybe he's a dog. But
he looks good.
He's also, it was probably against the third string safety that was defending him. And then Will Huggins from Pitt State. I thought I was happy because he sat at Kansas for 4 years, and I was like, well, he has deep. And then I realized, wait, Kansas, they're not great. Yeah. And if you sit for 4 years, that means you probably aren't great.
Yeah.
Nothing against you, Mr. Huggins, again.
To be clear, not Pitt. Pitt State.
The Gorillas.
No way.
They're the Gorillas.
In Pittsburgh, Kansas.
That's
incredible baseball field.
Wait, it's in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not even Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
No, it's in
Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Incredible
baseball team.
Incredible baseball field. Incredible team.
They're like top 20, I think, in baseball.
They're nice.
That's hilarious.
Cooper Harris goes there.
The Gorillas.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Cooper.
But it just doesn't make. I can't logically understand how we don't go get someone. And I get that the tight end room is kind of like, you don't really know off of stats. It's kind of like play style. Like, oh, can he block? Oh, can he do this? But still, that SEC is different. And I think Bauer Sharp learned that last year.
Yeah.
And I think that, Caden Helms probably got a little taste of that. Devon Mitchell's gone. So he
wasn't going to play anyway. So
hey, are you overlooking Jaron Kanik?
Guys, okay.
That's facts.
Listen.
Are you overlooking number 12?
Listen, here's my take on Jaron. I think that there will be certain packages that will be extremely gross with him. Yeah. Because he's a freak athlete.
Yeah, he is.
But I just don't see him being the everyday starting every down tight end. Because he's small. He's honestly small for a tight end. Bro. He's 6'2".
Yeah. It's kind of sad. Huh. I love Jaron.
Yeah. And I want
him to succeed. I really do love Jaron, but man, I don't it just doesn't.
I just don't know why they put him at tight end. I feel like slot would be a lot better.
He's too big for slot.
He's like
240.
Too big for slot.
Jeremiah Hall.
He's 240.
Jaron, yes, Jaron's big.
Oh, I didn't know he's that big.
He's big.
I mean, he played linebacker. Yeah.
Jeez.
He would have been a better fullback.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Jeremiah
facts.
Hall, like the
Fullback.
H-back
Ooh.
with Jeremiah Hall. Even Braden Willis
Yeah.
kind of played that little.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Packages like that, absolutely.
They got some packages.
Hopefully they'll cook that up.
Yeah.
I really do hope.
And I think he'll probably block pretty well, I would say.
We got to
I think he
rewind.
blocked really well.
We got to rewind
Yeah.
to Caden Helms.
Yeah.
That's who I would put my money on a starter personally.
Yeah.
I think it could be his breakout year. Dude has been struggling with injuries. I think if he stays injury free, he'll be the guy starting.
He's a 4-star coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't.
I got hope that he'll be. If he is the starter, that's like the best situation possible because that would mean that he actually made it through the summer without any injury.
Yeah. My take, I want to start with the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I want to start with the quarterbacks because that's my spot. Y'all know how I feel about Jackson Arnold. I've said it a million times. Buns. Badly underperforming. Never succeeding.
Put that graphic up.
Jackson Arnold. BUNS. Buns. How about that, Todd Bates? Little acronym. Jackson Arnold was absolutely just terrible, and I'm glad that he's gone. So you replace Jackson Arnold with John Mateer?
Yeah.
What's crazy is, and I'm actually kind of fired up that they do this. The SEC and like ESPN doesn't even put John Mateer in like the top 10. Like they did like a ranking of the top 5 SEC quarterbacks. John Mateer wasn't on that list. He's not on the list for the Heismans. Nothing. And I'm like, dude, this guy is bonkers. I'm going to glaze a little bit.
Go ahead.
Fair enough.
I think he's going to be phenomenal. Yes, he hasn't played SEC competition. You could have all these excuses like hasn't played SEC competition. It's only his 3rd year, I think, as a quarterback. He's a junior this year, all these things. I think he's going to be great. I just think when you have the, I don't want to sound glazed here, but the aura that he has.
There it is.
I'm telling you, man, it matters. It matters when you play. He just has that swagger about him, that matters.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think it instills fear in the defense. Anyways, I think he's going to be phenomenal. Our running back room is really good, and it just got better. That's what's crazy is we have Taylor Tatum, Javonte, Gavin, and Jaden Ott. Like that's 5 elite running backs.
5 guys that can start a Power 4
5 guys
level.
that can start. Yeah, 5 guys that can start a Power 5 school. I mean, the backfield is insane. The Boomer backfield, the Sooner backfield is insane.
It's really good.
I'm really excited to see all the combinations they have. Just the dual threat when what is it called? Like triple option with John Mateer and Jaden Ott, and then also seeing maybe Jaden Ott go out for some wheel routes. And I mean, it's gonna be great to see. So I'm stoked about that. Receiver room, I'm excited. I think if they can stay healthy, I think they're going to be really good. Dion will finally have a full year. Hopefully he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Giovanni Gibson looks really good. I don't like the idea of getting guys from lower schools, but Giovanni looks great. And then you have Centennia. Is that how you say it?
Satania.
Yeah,
Centennia. Isaiah Centennia, he looks solid. So, and then of course you have Jaden Gibson. You have all these other guys. So Jacob Jordan.
Shout out Jacob Jordan.
But I think they look really good. And really it's going to come down to, and we've said it last year and we've said it years before, is the O-line. But we got 3 guys, maybe 4. Am I forgetting one? Like, that's really exciting. And the freshmen, like Eddie Pierre-Louis, Ryan Foje, they're sophomores now, right?
Or no, Ryan
Foje is now a freshman. He just got here, but
yeah.
Oh, geez.
And
I thought
Fasusi.
Foje was...
Fasusi
Okay.
Dude, Fasusi.
So that's what I'm saying is like...
Fasusi might start.
The guys are getting older, so we're getting more experience. I don't know. I'm really excited about this offense.
I agree.
And I think it all starts with quarterback, to be honest with you. It does start with O-line, of course. But you got to have a quarterback that has that presence to him, because you can give a great O-line to a Jackson Arnold, and he's still going to be doing this against Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
Like, why am I
That's
still
a little Jaron saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Jackson Arnold's still getting cooked. He's just catching strays. Bro doesn't even.
I just can't stand him. Never mind. I can't stand him as a football player. I'm sure he's a great guy, but I just hate watching him play football. But yeah, I'm really excited about the offense. So we can go ahead and get into.
Yeah,
it's great. And Jaron Gnak, you guys mentioned it, but I think we're definitely gonna have some packages for him, and I think he's gonna be elite in those packages. I don't think he'll be the starter. We just got guys that are bigger and have played tight end for their entire college career, but I think he's definitely going to get PT.
Yeah.
And a lot more than he did on defense, or he would have on defense.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
I would be tempted to give the offseason an A+ for the offense.
Tempted.
But there's two big things in the way. One, the tight end room. You didn't address.
Yeah.
I go get the number one tight end, not the number one running back. That's my mindset, honestly. Like, that was the glaring hole in my mind. Obviously, the whole line was, and then the med staff. I think the fact that we didn't fire the entire med staff is kind of, it worries me. And here's the thing. You can say like, oh, that's ridiculous. First off, we lost like 6 wide receivers last year to injury.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're already dropping again.
Yeah.
They are already dropping again. And so, in my mind, you have the confidence to tell me that we're going to go into the season with Deion Burks, Giovanni Gibson, and Satania, and they're just going to play the whole season? How much confidence do you have in that to happen? I have very little confidence that will happen.
That's facts.
I don't like, and I'm not trying to, I don't want to voodoo hex anybody getting hurt.
Voodoo hex.
I don't want to put that juju out there, but it's just concerning because genuinely, like if it was my career, if I was a wide receiver with the med staff that apparently that room has, I genuinely would be concerned. So to me, that is what keeps me from giving this offense like just a literal A+. Because obviously, quarterback and O-line have made massive leaps, but I'm gonna have to give them an A- because those. If you don't have guys that can catch the ball, tight end receivers, it's not gonna go far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Giovanni Gibson's hurt. And I won't blame it on med staff because the injury is the same or similar to the Kendall Dolby thing, where it's just like a freak accident. Yeah. It's not I'm concerned about pools and stuff like that. If you break your leg because someone landed on your leg, the med staff should have strengthened your bones.
Yeah. No,
I'm not going to say that.
I agree with that.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, you can't avoid that.
But what I will say is that we're bringing back the guys that we want, and they're rehabbing to get back. It was great to see Deion Burks fully healthy, but is he going to stay fully healthy? Mm-hmm. Jaden Gibson should be the outside guy, go up and get the ball, but he's coming off of an injury.
Yeah.
Satania's going to play in the slot. Him and Deion, if Deion Burks goes down, it's going to be him. But man, you're going to the season. Giovanni Gibson's probably not even going to start the first game of the season because he's going to be out until then. Mm-hmm. So he's going to go the whole entire summer, probably not taking a snap.
Fall camp,
all of that. He's going to be walking probably the routes. So what do you, in your tight ends?
Literally.
Who, like you said, who is going to catch the ball? John Mateer, I know he can run, but he can't run every down.
Yeah.
He can't. He has to throw the ball to somebody, and that somebody might be KJ Daniels, the sophomore wide receiver, or it might be, what is his name? Oh, the little guy.
Oh, Zion Rages.
That might be who he's throwing the ball to.
Bro, this is what his profile pic looks like on OU football.
Shout out, bro, because to come and play power forward, B1 football at OU at 140 pounds and to play a lot, mad respect. And to not get hurt.
To start in OU, Texas.
Yeah.
And to not go down.
That's facts.
How did he not go down? He is the toughest dude on this team.
Yeah, that's probably. He's got to be. Actually.
I want to add on to your point about injuries. It's not, just like you said, it's not about there's these freak accidents that happen. It's the fact that the rehab is questionable, and it has been in the past.
Yeah.
And that creates re-injury issues.
Yep.
And it feels like, if Caden Helms is the starting tight end, he's coming off of 2 straight years of injury. Yep. If Deion Burks is the starting wide receiver, we assume he will be, he's coming off a year of injury. Giovanni Gibson, he would be coming off of 6 months of injury. And if that rehab isn't good, and they're literally just getting back from injury before season, that's just bad news bears. That is red alarms sounding in my mind. Our whole squad's returning from injury, and it's awesome. That's great. Awesome.
So what grade do you give the offense overall?
I have to. I'm sorry, but I'm going to give him a B+. I'm going to give him a B+. I'm not, just because there's so many questionable things in the air that I'm not for sure of.
Yeah.
I'm for sure of the quarterback. I think John Mateer is going to be a dog.
I agree.
I'm for sure that we have 5 running backs that can run the ball and could start anytime, and I wouldn't be upset. Maybe Gavin Sawchuk, I would be upset. Maybe a little bit. The O-line, I'm still
don't know.
I don't know. They're from Stanford in Western Carolina. They could be, but I don't know.
They could be.
Wide receivers, you're from UAPB and you're hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tight ends, I don't know. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it B+ based on being optimistic, but
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my.
It's a bit of optimism to give him that A- because it's like it's really all banking on Mateer.
Literally.
It really is.
Mateer's gonna have to
every
heal the
other room.
wounds.
If Mateer hadn't happened, I mean, we'd be talking a whole different conversation.
Literally.
See.
Yeah.
A whole different conversation because you would be looking at the receiver room. You'd be looking at the tight end room.
But then you would say, "Oh, it's Michael Hawkins,
Yeah.
A+."
Yeah. No.
Okay.
You would.
Yes. I am.
All right. I'm going to mention a name here that we haven't talked about yet
Okay.
regarding the offense, and that is Ben Arbuckle. So here's the thing.
That's fair.
We have said some things about Ben Arbuckle. Now, let me clarify. None of it has been lies. We've been completely truthful. Everything that we've said about Ben Arbuckle has truth and relevance to it. Now, maybe I disagree with the way that he's treated our 4-star commit, Jaden O'Neal, but I cannot deny the fact that he is an elite offensive coordinator. He's coached Cam Ward. He's coached John Mateer. And who else did he coach? It's some other NFL guy.
Oh, you think he coached Bailey Zapp?
Yes, that's what it was. This guy is really good at what he does.
Yeah.
Really good. And as an OU football fan, I am so excited to see his offense. I cannot wait to see his offense. Now, am I happy with how he treated Jaden? Absolutely not. But I think that his scheme is really good, and you don't get hired at OU at 29 years old as the offensive coordinator if it's not. So I'm really excited for Ben Arbuckle. So that is one hire that, we talked about position filling. Let's talk about coordinator filling. We're going from Seth Luttrell and Joe John Finley to Ben Arbuckle. That is a 100-to-1 difference.
Yeah.
100x better coaching change.
Yeah.
And we brought his star quarterback, who's now going to have his first year in the SEC, who's a dog, and who's probably going to have a breakout season and might be in New York at the end of the year. So I am really excited for this offense. Regardless of my personal differences with him of how he's treating our quarterback, I'm really excited for the performance that's going to come out. Being said, I think with all the positions considered, with the wide receiver room a little bit hurt, a little banged up, but not completely out, was probably going to come back. Tight ends, we got Carson Kent before Jim Nagy was hired, right?
Yeah.
I think if Jim Nagy was here, we probably would have got somebody different.
I mean, fair, but that didn't happen.
But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But what I'm saying is I'm going to put faith in Carson Kent. I'm going to put some faith in Carson Kent. I'm not happy that he's from Kennesaw State, but I'm going to put some faith in him just because I'm feeling that kind of way today. I think overall, though, all things being considered, with the O-line additions, the running backs, the receivers, I'm going to give us an A flat, a 95. Wow. I really think in terms of the jump that we're going to make from last year, it's going to be a completely new team in terms of offense. Yeah. The way that we're coached, our quarterback, everything is just really completely different, and that's a really good thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give the offense a flat A.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. It definitely, I think the team as a whole has done a complete 180. We're going to have 2 new coordinators on either side.
Yeah.
A new leader on each side of the ball. So there's definitely, nothing's going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's really crazy because 2023 to 2024, there was a lot of continuity, especially on defense for sure. Now it feels like, I'm going to go to a football game in August and literally not know half the guys. Obviously I am because I'm going to track literally every tweet that comes out about OU football, but it's going to be a lot of new, a lot of new.
And that is, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's exciting.
That's a great thing because I don't want anything from a 6-7 team last year that lost to Navy. Yeah. I'm glad everything's changed and completely
I can
wiped.
agree with that,
Got to have a new slate, especially considering we have the hardest schedule in all of college football next year. You got to have a new slate.
So it's good to see new. Obviously, there's some things that we wanted to keep, like Zach Alley, and there's things that we didn't want to keep,
like Jackson Arnold,
like Joe John Finley and Jackson Arnold.
Buns.
I would say as a whole, I would say the off season as a team as a whole, as a program as a whole, things are really going in the right direction. I would also just give it an A-, just because. To get, when you lose to Navy, and I just, man, it makes me mad how we don't talk about that anymore. We lost to Navy, the Navy, the one that goes in the water, the Navy. We lost to them. We lost to Okay, so we lost
at TCU Stadium.
At TCU Stadium, we lost to Navy. That isn't talked about enough, and I just think to go from that low point in OU football history, to after that hiring a new OC and getting the best quarterback, getting the best running back, getting a home run hire general manager, it really has been. It took it when we lost to Navy. It took a lot for me to believe in OU football again, and yet Joe C and BV and that squad did it.
Yeah,
because they went out and made the moves that were required for me to believe again. And so, and that, I mean, that is a great accomplishment to make a fan believe again that this team can actually succeed next year after losing to the freaking Navy, the Navy, Annapolis, Maryland. Navy. So yeah, just the fact that I believe again, I have to give him at least an A-. Yeah.
Bro's worried about the Navy, bro.
The Navy.
It's fine. It's fine, guys. Everything will be okay. The Navy, they're serving our country. We gave them that win on purpose. Anyway, I'm gonna be good, even though my grades were both B's. I'm gonna give him an A- because I'm gonna look at outside. I'm going to go with Jim Nagy is honestly bringing it up because what he's done in his whatever month or 2 months that he's been here is crazy.
Yep.
And as someone who's been an OU fan, I want to say 23 years, but I didn't care about football probably until I was like 4, 5. So was that 19, 18 years, whatever?
Yeah.
I get excited every year.
Yep.
I play it off like I'm not. I play it off like I'm not, but come on. I cannot wait for August 30th whenever, who's Illinois State?
Boom.
That we were going fishing yesterday, and he was playing Pursuit of Happiness. We were sitting there in the car doing
Sooner Nation is 3rd and 5.
And I was getting chills. I'm getting chills. There's no reason I should be getting chills in the car going to fish on April 23rd.
Yeah.
Because of Pursuit of Happiness playing. But I'm like, I miss being in the stadium. I miss OU football. And OU football, we could go 0-12. And in 2026, I promise you I'll be sitting back here and I'll be like, look, but guess what we did? And we're going to be back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, A-.
That's facts.
I'll stop yapping.
Yeah.
A-. Let's roll.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with A-, split between. I had a B+ and an A. I'm going to go A- overall for the offense and just the defense combined. Really, like Spencer said, there's no reason to re-say it again. We were at the lowest of lows. We had our worst OC in years. Then we had John Finley. Then we lost our DC. We had a terrible quarterback. In really like end of December, that was the lowest point of probably OU since I remember ever being a fan.
Especially like losing Nick Anderson.
Losing
to Navy.
Yeah, at that time we didn't hire Ben Arbuckle. We just lost to Navy.
Ugly.
It was a really hard time. And now I feel like we're talking this team could be a playoff team. Like that is absurd to think about. So yeah, I'm just super stoked for this team. A- overall, and I think we're going to be raw next year. I say that all the time, but I actually believe in John Mateer. I was still a little skeptical about J.A. Just a little. I wasn't feeling that last year. And John Mateer's, we're going to hit a celly. All right. Those, I'm talking about that video?
I know, but I don't remember him sounding like that, bro.
He sounds like that. Straight up, bro. Straight up. Anyways.
Yeah,
A-. I'm going to pull that up.
Bro sound like McConaughey, bro.
He does.
All right, man. Hey. Mr. Glaze.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Me personally, I will always get excited for OU football no matter what. I would rather just get my hopes up and just be totally heartbroken than go through the season like, it's a wash year. I always like to get my hopes up. But last year they died really quickly. That Houston game was a blow to my heart. I was like, I know we're not going to be good. Tennessee, and then just went downhill. So, yeah, hopefully we maintain a little longer this year.
Yeah.
Dude, we got Michigan week 2.
Where's this video at, bro?
Perfect.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about, actually.
It's the video where he throws it to Giovanni Gibson.
I thought Ben Arbuckle said that. Was in the huddle, and he was like, we're going to hit a celly.
I'll find it later. Of course, when I look for it, I can't find it, but I doom scroll Twitter tonight, it's going to be right there in my face. Yeah.
All right, well, that is our grades for the 2024/5 off season.
Yeah.
we'll be back at you next week, of course, with our daily episodes every weekday. Yeah, that being said, peace out, pod.
Peace.